Andre 3000 just announced that he has an album coming this Friday. We've been waiting for 17 years for a solo Andre 3000 project, but it's not exactly what we think it's going to be. New Blue Sun, his new album, is going to be an 87-minute long project with no rapping. In fact, there's no lyrics at all. In its place is thought-provoking song titles and flutes. Lots and lots of flutes. But to simplify it as a solo flute album is not really what we're getting. That there's more to it. We are going to get some percussion and guitar and keyboard, so there's more to it than just Andre 3000 going wild on the flute. But, everyone, myself included, wishes that we could have gotten a full rap album from Andre 3000, especially after we heard Killer Mike mentioning that 3 Stacks played a bunch of tracks for him. But I'm also not really surprised that this is the direction that he wanted to go. In this album announcement, he did an interview with NPR, and in that interview, he did mention that it's not that he doesn't want to rap. He really does try, and even in the past, it's taken him a long time to construct his lyrics and verses and songs. He's not the type of person that can easily just put out a verse or freestyle. Like, that's not something that he can do. It's not a skill that he possesses. Even during the Outkast days, like, he would look at Big Boy with awe, like, yo, how are you doing this? Like, you're able to just throw out verses so easily. But as he's gotten older, it hasn't gotten any easier for him. In fact, it seems like it's gotten harder, and it just takes him even longer to get those verses done. And now, even though he does keep trying to rap, he hasn't even gotten a lot of his verses and songs to places that he's happy to share them. And that seems like the biggest thing to him. He wants to create work that he's happy and excited to share with the world. It's almost like if he's rapping to rap or to appease others, he wouldn't really enjoy it or be happy about it. Like, he wants to have something to say. It's kind of like what Jay-Z mentioned in his recent interview, where he's like, I'm not really retired, but like, I'm also not just going to keep rapping, essentially. Like, he needs a reason to come out with an album or a song. And I think 3 Stacks is kind of in that same realm. It is also very much that over the years, we've heard Andre 3000 mention that he has a bit of an anxiety going into music. So he doesn't really want to release stuff, which that's totally fair. And now, getting back into the music that he wants to release, like, if you're not happy with what you're making, like, you can't really expect others to enjoy it as much. At least that's what he's trying to get across. Like, he wants to, like, the excitement and energy that he's putting into it is something that he feels like people may be able to get out of this new album. And in general, it feels like maybe people can't really, or maybe people can tell exactly what you're trying to get across, or when you're not fully invested in something. But also, to be fair, it is an Andre 3000 album, and I feel like people would probably listen to it regardless because it's Andre 3000. We haven't heard from him in a while. Now, getting back into the wordplay a little bit and kind of what he's trying to do with this album, 3 Stacks didn't have any lyrics or verses on this project. So he wanted to give some thought and direction for the listeners, which I think is a pretty cool idea, especially on like an instrumental or fully instrumental project. So he has some really long song titles, and I'm assuming when we listen to the project, it'll make a lot more sense. It seemed like the interviewer for NPR did, like, they at first didn't listen to it with the song titles, or the song titles were not given, but now that they've seen the song titles, like, okay, wait, that does make sense. I mean, for example, the intro track is, I swear I really want to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. So, we just get a full sentence from him. And then we have some other tracks like Bipolar Disorder's Daughter wears a 3000 button down embroidered, and 93 Till Infinity and Beyonce. So we have a lot of weird titles, but I'm assuming when we listen to it, it'll make a little bit more sense. But going back to the interview part of it, it is a pretty long interview. It's a lot of reading. You could also listen to it. I think it's like an hour or 17 minutes long, but it is, in my opinion, worth a read at least, or skim through it, because there's a lot of tidbits of information. Like, he talks about how the recording process for this was and how he actually kind of became excited to share it with others. I mean, I think one of the first few listenings that he did for it was like for 3 songs, and he had Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean show up to his house to listen to it. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, we get a lot of just insight in general, and it's good to see, because Andre 3000 is very much one of those people that we don't hear from very much. Like, we get a verse here and there, and that's usually an indication of where he's at mentally, physically, emotionally. But to have a full-on interview with him, it's a treat, to say the least. But yeah, that's all I've got as far as my thoughts are. But before I forget, I'm sure many people, myself included, had the same gut reaction when they saw this announcement, like that he's gonna do a full flute album or instrumental album, and everyone's like, I just want the raps, Andre, give me the raps. But after thinking about it for a little bit, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, you're the type of person that really could just do whatever you wanted, and people are still gonna enjoy it. But just live your life, be happy. But yeah, that's all I got. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this is. Are you going to listen to the album because it's an Andre 3000 album? Like, is this something that you would have listened to even if Andre 3000 wasn't attached to it? Because I know I wouldn't. But that's just me. And while you're down there, like and subscribe to see more ramblings and content like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.